Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Hi everyone, my name's Andrew, and today is the day. Today is the day that, at least in this movie series, I've been waiting for. I mean, I've enjoyed all of them so far. I will enjoy the remaining ones as well, although that might get into sketchier territory for some of you. But today is the day that we watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And for those of you who have watched my other Indiana Jones reactions out here, I have briefly touched on my weird kind of interaction with Indiana Jones over my childhood. I am somebody who grew up watching Indiana Jones, but in a very strange way, in that I did not see Raiders of the Lost Ark until I was in my 20s, after I saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is weird. But I grew up watching 2 of the 3 Indiana Jones movies. Temple of Doom occasionally when I would catch it on television, but this one, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, was the one that I had at home, the one I actually had on VHS that I could watch whenever I wanted to, and oh boy did I. So for very biased reasons, this is probably my favorite. But I also think a lot of people would argue it's a very strong movie in the franchise. The way that Harrison Ford and Sean Connery play off of each other in this movie as father and son, there's a great comedic energy between the two of them, but also eventually a very loving and genuine father-son energy between the two of them. And you see that sprinkled throughout the movie as well, even though you can tell that their past is complicated. A little bit of trivia that a lot of you probably already know: Sean Connery was actually only 12 years older than Harrison Ford, yet he's playing his father in this movie. So not quite old enough in real life to have been his father, but that's what acting's about, folks. But that is enough talk about the movie for now. Let's actually get to watching the movie. But before we do, if you would be so kind, please be sure to go over and have a look at the Patreon. The full-length reaction to this movie is already up and available over there. There's full-length reactions to all kinds of other movies. There's exclusive full-length television show reactions over there. There's all kinds of stuff. Any support that you give over there is greatly appreciated and helps what I'm trying to do here, so thank you so much for that. I hope you'll go have a look and maybe become a patron. And in addition to that, if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down here, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And that is it, folks. That is all I have to say before we get to watching probably my favorite Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Here we go. Oh, I totally forgot. We're about to also see the first other person to play Indiana Jones besides Harrison Ford. Dismount! Hard to imagine Indiana Jones as a Boy Scout. But I guess if you were interested in nature and things like that, everyone starts somewhere.
What is it?
Indy was interested in exploring from an early age. Little did he know that somehow he would happen upon thieves of some kind. I can't remember.
Indy, what are they doing?
Interesting to see an origin to the hat. He's basically wearing the same clothes that Indy ended up wearing himself later on.
Run back and find the other. Let him bring the sheriff. It's only a snake. Do what I said.
Right. Run back. What are you gonna do?
Boys, you are talking too loud. And it's also interesting to see a young Indy who's not afraid of snakes. River Phoenix was a very good actor for the little bit he was able to do. It's really sad for so many reasons that we didn't get to see more of him. Almost got away with it. He's got our thing. Very specific. I think that was a joke on all the times you would see them jump down and just land on their horse and how unrealistic that was. You know, there's all kinds of strange things that just so happen to be occurring at the same time. All of a sudden we have a circus train going through, just so happens at the time that this chase is happening. Interesting to see the traumatic experience that starts his fear of snakes. They're laying so much groundwork here. They're doing so much backstory. The level of physicality and comedy to do this kind of scene. I don't know if River Phoenix had done anything like this before, but he's accomplishing it very well. Yeah, it might be time to move. Rhino is not happy.
There's no way out of this.
There's a bad way out of it. Situation has not improved. Let's put it that way. Right there. the explanation for Harrison Ford's scar. Got that in like a car accident or something like that?
You got heart, kid, but that belongs to me.
This should be in a museum.
Most kids wouldn't be talking about a thing being in a museum. Like, I'm wondering if it comes from his father. I would imagine probably so. And for his next trick, I like that kind of begrudging respect there. He has to hand it to the kid.
Dad, it's important.
Wait. Count to 20 in Greek.
That's also not a great reaction on the part of a father. It could be a real emergency.
There were 5 or 6 of them.
Still got it?
It's right here.
You got witnesses, 5 or 6 of them.
The rightful owner. Wonder if they explain that. Maybe they had the proper permits to be digging where they were. Keep anything they found.
You lost today, kid. But it doesn't mean you have to like it.
Just the idea of having somebody who is very much a model of who he ends up becoming. The guy was very much an Indiana Jones figure.
Small world, Dr. Jones. Too small for 2 of us.
All these years later, and this guy's wearing the same suit. You would have thought his fashion would have evolved a bit. Ooh. That was quite a turn of events. Good thing he got off that boat when he did. Things would have gone very badly for him had he stuck around.
Theology is the search for fact, not truth.
That is a very important distinction. The difference between fact and truth. People can give all kinds of meaning to facts by interpretation.
Library, research, reading. We cannot afford to take mythology at face value.
It still does astound me. We cannot afford to take mythology at face value, and I understand that, but Indiana Jones is a character that by this point has seen all kinds of fantastical things, yet he still remains a skeptic somehow.
Venice, Italy.
I mean, one could hardly blame him facing that for wanting to escape out the window. I would probably do that too. It's always an intimidating posture when you have multiple people and one of them goes and gets behind you. Oh, they've got you surrounded.
Dr. Jones, my men didn't alarm you, I hope.
I would have found it a little alarming. It didn't sound like it was voluntary.
Might interest you?
To the canyon of the crescent moon.
The Holy Grail, Dr. Jones.
Just so happens to be the thing his father has spent his life studying. Although, nothing is coincidence, obviously.
An old man's dream.
Every man's dream, including your father's, I believe.
Indy seems to have a little anger at the idea of his father even being brought up. Showing a lifetime of trying to escape the shadow of his father, maybe.
Only one step away.
That's usually when the ground falls out from underneath your feet.
Certainly in Indy's experience, that's been the case.
Our project leader has vanished.
You've got the wrong Jones, Mr. Donovan. Why don't you try my father?
Your father is the man who's disappeared.
Apparently, Indy and his father don't stay in very regular contact if he was unaware that his father was missing, or even that his father had been hired to undertake this expedition.
I've seen you this concerned about it before.
Dad?
Dad!
Dear God.
Yeah, I'd say something more is going on than just your father disappeared if they ransacked his place.
It's Dad's Grail diary.
Why would he have sent this to me? Someone must want it pretty badly.
I believe the Grail actually exists.
Little does Indy know how much he's going to be following these very ancient representations of things like this by the end of this movie.
Good luck. I'll be very careful. Don't trust anybody.
He did tell him. He did certainly tell him. I will say, though, that when people say things like that to you, they're not generally talking about themselves, but can't say he wasn't honest about that part.
Dr. Jones, you have your father's eyes.
And my mother's ears. The rest belongs to you.
Quite a pickup line. Right away there, without knowing who she is.
Here is the library.
It's like a converted church.
Which is exactly what it is. Very well done, Marcus.
The library is closing in a few moments. I'll arrange for us to stay a little longer.
Marcus, I've seen this window before. Dad's diary.
I think part of it is also that we don't have something sketched out with information like that we were usually following on the mystery, you know? The closest thing we had is in Raiders of the Lost Ark was the thing that Marion had that led them to the tomb, or the temple.
3, 7, 10.
Look under your feet, Dr. Jones. You will find a very large 10.
10.
X marks the spot.
That's a pretty big 10, and X definitely does mark the spot. I just noticed, though, that is odd. The books behind him were definitely not real. This is a really funny bit. Which is, you know, interesting that it works out that way, because that kind of behavior will definitely get you kicked out of the library. I love that. There's that little, I mean, that's only a few seconds, but I love that kind of comedic. It's a great setup, and it's so simple.
You don't disappoint, Dr. Jones. You're a great deal like your father.
Except he's lost and I'm not.
You know, there's a lot of comparisons to his father here, and some of them cross into kind of disturbing areas later on.
Look after this for me, will you?
It's actually been long enough since I've watched this. I don't remember what happens to Marcus now, because he doesn't go down there with them, and they obviously go through some significant activities down here that without Marcus. I was going to say, I didn't think he gets taken hostage. They knock him out, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Which, you know, is pretty rude. But the Knights of the Cruciform Sword have a mission to protect the Grail. I believe that was the name.
Watch out.
X marks the spot. Very interesting kind of impromptu torch he was able to create out of that. It feels like if all of that was flammable, it would have been incredibly dangerous. Like it would have caught his whole arm on fire.
Rats.
Yikes. I like rats as like a pet. I've had rats in the past. I might even be a little freaked out by something like that. I feel like part of the dynamic of this story that works differently is that you are collecting more clues as you go. It doesn't seem in the other stories that that was what was happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Temple of Doom wasn't like that. I'm trying to remember from Raiders.
Don't wander off.
To be trapped in a small space with very little air and rats piling in on top of you, who reasonably were just trying to get away from the fire. They're trying to survive. That's not something you expect when you sit down for lunch. Jeez, Andy. Andy almost went clean off the back of the boat on that one.
Are you crazy? Don't go between them!
Go between them, are you crazy?
I know they got to do it for comedy, but I don't think I would have listened to him even if I thought that's what he said.
You said go between them!
I said don't go between them!
Yeah, talk about a different form of the walls closing in, you know? Like Temple of Doom, but not. Boom. These gentlemen are not so lucky. And now we're down to 1 and 1. Things just escalate very quickly, you know? Your boat is smoking and damaged, and you're fighting off armed assailants in a huge ship propeller.
Why are you trying to kill us? Because you're looking for the Holy Grail!
In a boat that's being actively chopped up.
Talk or you're dead! Damn it, kill me! If you don't let go, Dr. Jones will both die!
Jeez. This is an amazing stunt setup that they had to have been able to capture, with Harrison Ford actually there.
My soul is prepared! How's yours?
Very effectively done. I have to go back and watch how they shot that.
The secret of the Grail has been safe for 1,000 years. The Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword have been prepared to do anything.
Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword. Not enemies, just a group with a mission to protect something that they feel is sacred.
I didn't come for the cup of Christ. I came to find my father.
In that case, God be with you in your quest. Your father is being held in the castle of Grunwald on the Austrian-German border.
You know, for opposing sides that were just now in a fight where they were trying to kill each other, they became allies very quickly. It's like he just killed, like, I don't even know how many of your guys.
The Canyon of the Crescent Moon. He made a map. He knew everything except where to begin.
Alexandretta. Marcus, get hold of Sulla.
Yeah, needed the point of origin, and now you have it. Alexandretta. Indy has just all but completed the life's work of his father, trying to locate the Grail. Troubling signs. Have your father's place turned upside down, people looking for something. Your own room.
Elsa?
And hers as well. Apparently that music was pretty loud. I'm just going with the narrative here. It is interesting that they would turn her room upside down and not bother her in the bathroom.
What were they looking for?
This.
And also that they wouldn't have tried to get into Marcus's room.
You didn't trust me.
I didn't know you. At least I let you tag along.
Give them a flower and they'll follow you anywhere.
You know, they really do have pretty good chemistry together, which is what makes the turn even more impactful, I think, later on when it happens.
I've nearly been incinerated, drowned, shot at, and chopped into fish bait. How dare you kiss me?
Okay. I mean, it's different because they're both into each other, but yeah, don't just do something like that. I mean, that's presumptuous, Indy.
Don't like fast women.
And I hate arrogant men.
I'd say get a room, but they're already in a room. So, you know, we should probably just pan away. Give them a little privacy, you know? Again, leading to probably the most disturbing comparison of father to son later on.
What are you going to do?
Think of something.
Yes?
She's still getting dressed as they open the door.
Look, that gun and caught a sniffle.
Who would have known that an archaeology professor would have been so good at characters in improv?
And if you are a Scottish lord, then
I am Mickey Mouse.
How dare he?
I mean, she didn't say anything the whole time, but that was a really funny bit. I don't know. It's just something about that being pretty out of character for Indy, I would imagine. He basically just did an improv comedy bit.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
And then he found Nazis in the basement, you know. That's the way it goes sometimes. Very subtle, Indy. Nicely done. Ooh, nice shot, Henry Jones Sr.
Junior? Yes, sir. Shoot, Junior.
That training, like even though he's half out of it, he hears his father's voice and, yes, sir.
Thought you were one of them.
Yeah, they come in through the doors.
Good point.
He does need some lessons on the actual, you know, caring of a father.
I wasn't wrong when I mailed you my diary.
You got it? I used it.
And he unfortunately brought it back with him, which is what you didn't want.
And the tomb of Sir Richard?
Found it.
You saw him?
And then the whole thing caught on fire. It was crazy. There was a bunch of rats.
The inscription on Sir Richard's shield.
Alexandretta.
Alexandretta!
Imagine that you are an older man and you've spent your entire life studying this thing and someone drops the last detail that fills in the gap you've been missing all this time.
They wanted my diary. I knew I had to get that book as far away from me as I possibly could.
A look on his face when he realizes he's done exactly what his father was trying to avoid.
That he would bring my diary all the way back here. You didn't, did you? You did.
Father and son about to have a fight at gunpoint. Some things take precedence, you know.
And who's gonna come to save you, Junior?
I don't think he needs anyone to save him. He's doing pretty well himself.
Don't call me Junior. Look what you did.
The idea of someone like Sean Connery, who was James Bond, being shocked at, oh my God, he killed people. But also the difference between somebody who's been an academic his whole life and someone who's been in the field, too.
Indy, please.
What? Trust me.
I mean, his father did try to warn him. He should have listened. But, you know, he didn't know better at this time. Until this moment. What a betrayal.
But you should have listened to your father.
First time we've had a female lead in an Indiana Jones movie that turned out to be a villain.
How did you know she was a Nazi?
She talks in her sleep.
Leading to one of the other disturbing comparisons between father and son.
because he didn't take my advice.
And another betrayal. So now we know where all the pieces are on the board.
This book contained a map. He's given them to Marcus Brody.
We'll find him.
He'll blend in, disappear. You'll never see him again. With any luck, he's got the Grail already.
Indy did a really good job being really serious, talking up Marcus as this incredibly capable individual. And then we cut directly to this, which directly disproves that, which of course is the point.
Anyone understand a word I'm saying here?
Mr. Brody!
No, you don't, and you're very lucky that Sulla found you.
Mr. Brody, the director of the Museum of Antiquities has sent a car for you. Follow me, please.
I mean, maybe don't just believe any rando that walks up to you in a crowded town square.
Of course. Run. Just finished reading it myself. Run.
I mean, Sala did try to tell him. Sala obviously knew something was up. That is the funny part. Marcus has to be one of the most inept people to be in this situation. Indy trying to talk him up, make him seem like he's this internationally connected force to be reckoned with. I mean, Marcus was ready to fight off all comers for him. Or no, Marcus. Sala was ready to fight off all comers for him.
No, if we fail to recover the pages from Brody, we'll need them alive.
How quickly she turns to a cold, calculated villain.
We both wanted the Grail. I would have done anything to get it. You would have done the same.
I'm sorry you think so.
Villains always trying to justify their actions. Oh, we're not so different. We're different in some pretty key ways.
I can't forget how wonderful it was.
Thank you. It was rather wonderful.
The disturbed look on Indy's face when he realizes. Apparently, she's just not that discerning. She'll just any port in a storm, I suppose.
Marcus before the Nazis did.
You said he had 2 days start. It would blend in, disappear.
You know, Marcus, he got lost once in his own museum.
Got lost in his own museum. That's pretty bad. Also, Indy's father didn't do a very good job with his first reaction being Marcus isn't up to the challenge.
Try and burn through the ropes. The floor's on fire. And the chair.
There's suddenly a lot of urgency in getting out of those ropes.
Dad! Oh, Dad! Oh, Dad! What? Head for the fireplace!
They're just great together in this movie. They really are. I don't think they ever work together again.
Our situation has not improved.
No, it is not. Kind of ended up right back where you started. Well, I don't know how much the concern there is that you have two guys that are tied up in chairs. Not exactly that much of a threat to you. Or so it would seem. A lot of these sequences orchestrated so well for comedy and that edge of your seat adventure kind of thing.
No! Better than most. Not going on the boat.
Not going on the boat. That was a pretty smart move. At least it bought him a little bit of time. This was a mistake, though. They give themselves away right away. And I understand for the comedy of it, but they should have let him take off on the boat. Even as he's actively saving them, he's still getting this disapproval from his father. What more do you want? He's rescuing you from Nazis. It just feels like probably such a different role for Sean Connery playing kind of a physically inept academic. Always time for a good joust, you know? Boom! Indiana Jones wins the joust this year. Ooh, that's an interesting and threatening way to say hello there. I mean, he's pretty creative right in the moment there. And his father doesn't give him credit for any of it.
There is more in the diary than just the map.
It's very true. They would have died without this information, probably.
I found the clues that will safely take us through. Well, what are they?
Why would he have them memorized? He wrote them down in his diary.
I wrote them down in my diary so that I wouldn't have to remember.
I mean, yeah. How are you going to remember every detail of that by heart?
If it is captured by the Nazis, the armies of darkness will march all over the face of the earth.
I mean, he is right, although they have a very unhealthy relationship. They really need to work on it.
I never understood it. Neither did Mom. Oh, yes, she did. Only too well. She kept her illness from me. All I could do was mourn her.
Well, I feel like you have some things to atone for too, Henry Jones Sr. Let your work consume you and didn't pay attention to your family.
We're pilgrims in an unholy land.
You know, again, for an archaeology professor, he seems to be pretty adept in like espionage and spy work and things like that. I love how pained Elsa looks here, like she didn't know this is what she was trading her dignity for.
You stood up to be counted with the enemy of everything that the Grail stands for. Who gives a damn what you think?
You do!
All I have to do is squeeze.
All I have to do is scream.
This idea that you can make any compromise and it's somehow justifiable. That you aren't at some point just responsible for aligning yourself with some of the most evil ideas ever to exist. Oh, but I had a good reason. No, there's no good reason. That is a breathtakingly scary moment, to be literally surrounded by Nazis at a huge Nazi rally and come face to face with Hitler. And to have him sign the Grail diary. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get to where there's a few less swastikas, I think. Not in this place. There's quite a few of them.
What did you get? I don't know. First available flight out of Germany.
Yeah. At a certain point, you're just looking to get the hell out of there. Because the danger of staying is the biggest issue.
Well, we made it. When we're airborne with Germany behind us, then I'll share that sentiment.
You know, I know he's looking for approval, but I gotta say that I agree with Henry Jones Sr. on that one. Don't count the chickens till they hatch. I mean, Indy is making a regular habit of like beating people up and taking their uniforms. Become an art, really. He also has a bad habit of walking straight into people almost. I love this next part so much. I think this has to be a meme somewhere. Someone has to have repurposed this.
Herr Jones, tickets, please.
No ticket.
It's just a great comedic moment. Like, hey, I don't want to be punched in the face and thrown out of the blimp. It was great. I know they all have some comedy to them, but I feel like this one has some really great comedic moments like that. And their chemistry in particular.
I'm as human as the next man. I was the next man.
Yeah. It is a weird thing for father and son to share, is experiences like that.
I was a wonderful father. I respected your privacy, and I taught you self-reliance.
I was less important to you than people who'd been dead for 500 years in another country.
Yeah, this is quite a great delusion he has that he was a great father. Self-reliance is one thing. Ignoring and abandoning your kid, basically, is another. Especially because you're obsessed with your studies. You have a grown man here who has accomplished a lot in his life and is still looking for love and approval from his father.
First, the breath of God. Second, the word of God. Third, the path of God.
Everyone got that? Because we know that's going to be pretty important later. So, I hope that you've memorized all that.
We're turning around. They're taking us back to Germany.
This is where the shot that we saw of the little kind of emergency plane on the bottom comes into play. Because then we know there's a way for them to get out.
I didn't know you could fly a plane. Why, yes. Land? No.
The landing part might be pretty important. I wonder if that was a real thing. I wonder if blimps actually came equipped with planes like that. It doesn't seem like there'd be much cause for it. It's obviously only a two-person plane. Or maybe that was a wartime thing, if they came under attack.
11 o'clock! What happens at 11 o'clock? 12, 11, 10, 11 o'clock, fire!
Really just very different from other characters Sean Connery has played, that he wouldn't even understand what he meant by 11 o'clock. Ugh. Yeah? Maybe don't shoot right at the tail.
Yes! Are we hit?
I mean...
I'm sorry, they got us.
Yeah, you're hit. Never mind by who. Let's not pay attention to that. Ooh. I don't know who this farmer is, but he got the short end of the stick. You let out all his animals and you crash into his house.
These people are trying to kill us. I know, Dad!
Thanks for the update. I couldn't tell with all the gunfire directly at us. Let out his animals, crashed a plane into his house, and stole his car. Now, if he knows how to fix the plane, he's got a free plane. Thankfully, they had a tunnel. And this guy was dumb enough to fly right into it. Hey, pull over. Or blow up.
They don't come any closer than that.
We should quit making declarative statements, I think, until this is over. Because you're just begging for him to be disproven. Immediately. I don't think that was going to do much anyway. A revolver against a plane. But Senior, Henry Jones Sr. that is, has an idea. The poor birds, you know. But it worked. I said he couldn't take it down with a pistol. He took it down with an umbrella.
What happened to Marcus? They set out across the desert. They took Mr. Brody with them. Now they have the map.
Hey, don't blame Sala. Sala did everything he could. Sala was ready to sit there and fist fight like 3 or 4 different guys.
We're on the brink of the recovery of the greatest artifact in the history of mankind.
You're meddling with powers you cannot possibly comprehend.
They'll learn about the powers they're meddling with all too soon. In the most brutal possible ways.
Get down. We're well out of range.
Yeah, looks like it. Well out of range, huh?
That belonged to my brother-in-law. Come on!
Sala. Just that line. The car belonged to my brother-in-law.
Well, in this sun, without transportation, they're as good as dead.
They've got a little unexpected help. Even unexpected to them, I imagine. It's the brothers of the cruciform sword.
Now who are all these people? Who cares?
Maybe you don't stand up and, gesture wildly when there's gunfire, Kind of asking to get shot. Yeah. Down, Dr. Jones Singer. Yeah. They helped, and they put up a decent fight, but I think they might have been outgunned, unfortunately.
Who is he?
A messenger from God for the unrighteous. The cup of life holds everlasting damnation.
You can't say that they weren't warned at every turn, because that's exactly the fate that he's facing. He just didn't care to listen.
What are you doing here?
Rescue a boy. Come on. Hide up, here we go.
There wasn't much of a plan for this rescue. You just thought you were going to get there and sneak back out again.
Goose-stepping morons like yourself should try reading books instead of burning them.
There's a little bit of the Sean Connery we know from other movies.
Your father and Brody in the belly of that steel beast.
Yeah, not going to be the clean getaway you hoped for, Dr. Jones.
Fire!
Yeah. Can you get around a corner somewhere so they can't see you? That would be ideal. Bad luck, folks. Yeah, I don't think you're going to reach that door handle before it's too late. Now, this is really cool, but I don't think this would work. Also, bye-bye to your friends that run the front of the tank. Ooh, really bye-bye. Yeah, I don't think this would work. Unless the tip is just that sensitive to explode. But hey, it's a movie. Things don't all have to make sense. Got a little smoky in there, it looks like. Guys have a problem with one of your guns? Ding, ding, ding. Time to fight. Okay, these are not fair odds already. Well, that evened it some. What was that? 3 or 4 birds with one stone. I mean, it's ridiculous to say, but not a lot of honor among these Nazis, as far as how they fight. Boom. Bye-bye. Ooh. That's gotta hurt. Going right off under it. That's a bit more than a close-up there. Boom. The pen is mightier than the sword. In that case, very much so. But a big gun can blow up a truck full of Nazis. And headed straight into a wall right up ahead. I mean, it's not looking good. Ooh. Unlucky for the driver, lucky for our heroes. Ricochet went their way. And he needs a bath.
You call this archaeology? Get out of there, Dad!
No, I call this something else entirely. Trying to survive attack by a ludicrous number of Nazis.
How does one get off this thing?
I mean, asked and answered. He got him off pretty quickly there. Ooh. Yeah, this is the one that sucks. Roll, roll. Roll to the side. He's getting his back ripped up. Oh. Well, Indy's getting kidney punched. Jump, Indy. Jump off the... Well. I really wonder if seeing this in the theater, if people thought it was possible that Indy had actually died.
I've lost him, and I never told him anything. 5 minutes would have been enough.
Even though we already see him climbing up, the fact that they still think he went over. The realization with him that he realizes what Indy was trying to say to him earlier. All this time, and they never took time to connect, especially after his mother died.
I thought I'd lost you, boy. I thought you had to, sir.
Yeah, that hits it a bit. In a moment like that, it's just a father and son again, you know?
Well done.
He's not comfortable with it. He has to get back to keeping his professional distance. Fate brings back the hat. You can't lose the hat.
Canyon of the Crescent Moon.
I don't know what this edit's going to be like. I find I'm just watching long sections of this, but we shall find out. All right, we enter the final stage of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Navigating the booby traps that lead to the Holy Grail, potentially.
Helmet, another volunteer.
I like how he says another volunteer. I don't think they're getting volunteers after a guy's head goes rolling out of there to go in next. Like, oh yeah, I'd love to.
He's going to recover the Grail for us.
It's like, I don't know, the guy who just got decapitated is kind of a deterrent for that.
Shooting me won't get you anywhere.
You know something, Dr. Jones? You're absolutely right.
Now that, not that I encourage this at all, but that for him to get what he wants, that was a very smart move. It was the one way he could actually threaten him. You put him in a situation where his only recourse to save his father is to go get the Grail.
You can't save him when you're dead. The healing power of the Grail is the only thing that can save your father now. It's time to ask yourself what you believe.
Yeah, it's why I feel like it's really effective. There's only one thing to do. There's no choice left anymore. He has to go get it, and he has to hope that it's real. He has to hope that it'll actually work. Otherwise, his father's dead. He's memorized them by this point. It's become like a mantra almost.
Kneels before God.
He figured that out at the last moment.
I'm through! He's all right.
He's like, no, he's not all right yet. He's still got 2 more to go through.
Jehovah. But in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah begins with an I.
They had to do it. He should look while he's down there. He'll be able to see which ones are supported. Gotta remember your lessons, Dr. Jones. That was a close one. Had the heels on the P there. This was the one that I always thought this would be the toughest.
You must believe, boy.
That had to be an incredible surprise. That'd have been a weird end to the movie if you just fell all the way down all of a sudden. It's impressively done. You wouldn't be able to see that unless you were looking for it. When he first crawls in there, he has to think that's just a skeleton kneeling there at this point. Like, nope. That's a person. That's alive somehow. I mean, he almost got him. He got one good swipe out before he fell over.
Who are you?
The last of 3 brothers.
It was 700 years ago.
He's looking pretty good for 700 years old. He managed to swing a sword. We should all be so lucky.
Whereas the true Grail will bring you life, the false Grail will take it from you.
It really is kind of one of the perfect tests, if you think about it.
I have no idea what it looks like. Which one is it?
Let me choose.
Thank you, Doctor.
You have no idea what it looks like, yet you will trust her with your life. I'm surprised he didn't make someone else drink out of it first.
Oh, yes. It's more beautiful than I'd ever imagined.
This is like prosperity gospel Christians that think that Jesus had like golden chalices and things like that. It's like Jesus was humble and lived a modest life, was a carpenter.
This certainly is the cup of the King of Kings.
Yeah, you deserve your fate, buddy. Drink to your health. Cheers.
Eternal life.
Wait for it. Yeah. Feel pretty stupid now. With the look she had on her face when he did that, it makes me wonder if she chose the wrong cup on purpose. It's highly possible. She doesn't have any loyalty to him either. Like he's been there for hundreds of years.
He chose poorly.
He did indeed. Farewell, Mr. Donovan. You got exactly what you deserved.
It would not be made out of gold.
That's the cup of a carpenter.
So she did know. She knew it wouldn't be made out of gold.
You have chosen wisely. The Grail cannot pass beyond the Great Seal. That is the boundary.
Seems like you could come back for it if you wanted to. Like to use it periodically. But yeah, it'd be pretty obvious when all the other ones are gold and ornate. You have one like kind of simple looking cup there. That's always a good effect. You really get a sense of, like, I know it's 2 cutaway shots, but like how it healed him. Simple effects, I know, but pretty effective the way they employed them. He has this look on his face like, did we win? Wow. Imagine that. He spent his whole life studying the Grail, studying to try to find the whereabouts of this artifact, and now he's holding it in his hands. And they very fairly say, we're getting the hell out of here. We've had enough. She just can't stop. She has no real relationships. Everyone is expendable and just to get to what she wants.
We have got it. Come on.
And she is just insatiable greed.
It's ours, Indy.
Elsa, don't cross the seal.
She heard him. She doesn't think she has to honor any rules. This sequence and the contrast here in particular. I'm thinking about it right now. This is the one that's going to get me. Even when she's hanging, like dangling on the edge of death, she still can't stop. And as if to make a point about the alluring nature of it, he's now in the very same position.
Junior, give me your other hand.
I can get it.
Right here.
Indiana, let it go.
Yep, that one got it. There's certain father-son moments I can be a sucker for, but that one in particular. A number of beautiful things happened right there. This knight's journey is over. He's going to presumably die with the collapsing of this place. Indy's father saved him. He called him Indiana for the first time, respectfully and gently to get his attention and to connect with him. And he told him to let go of the thing that he spent his whole life chasing. There's just a number of amazing things that happen in that moment.
Elsa never really believed in the Grail. She thought she'd found a prize.
What did you find, Dad?
Illumination.
See, and that's the thing. Maybe it was enough just that he found it, you know? And just the different perspective he had based on that and the enlightenment he got from that.
Like Indiana. We named the dog Indiana.
Hey.
You are named after the dog.
Got a lot of fond memories of that dog.
Don't undercut the relationship of a beloved dog, you know. That's actually kind of beautiful that if he had a dog that he loved so much and then it passed away, and he's like, I'm going to take the name in honor of this dog that I loved.
Follow me! I know the way!
Got lost in his own museum, huh?
Yeah. You don't get much more inept than that, getting lost in your own museum. And so, Steven Spielberg even talked about this. This is why they're riding off into the sunset. This was supposed to be it. So many of these stories, the hero rides off into the sunset at the end. And this was supposed to be the end of the Indiana Jones stories, at least in film. But that is it. Let's go to the wrap-up. Well, we reached the end of the original Indiana Jones trilogy. Letting the sunset shot play here as I'm talking to you over this, but as I was saying at the end of the reaction, this is why they're riding off into the sunset. Steven Spielberg said this in the behind the scenes for this movie. All the, westerns and adventure movies and things like that, that was like a classic thing they did forever, is the heroes rode off into the sunset to signify, at least, I guess it didn't always signify the end, but it signified at least until the next adventure, but for him it was saying that this was the end. And it would have been, and it was for a long time, but they got asked so many times, Harrison Ford, Steven Spielberg, when are you going to do another Indiana Jones movie? And for years, they said, well, Indiana Jones is kind of, that hero rode off into the sunset, so to speak. But after a while, they started thinking about doing another one. And so we got the next Indiana Jones movie, which a lot more people have a lot more mixed feelings about. And we will certainly talk about that when we get to that movie. As for this movie, I really feel like I struggle to maintain objectivity when it comes to this movie. I mean, you saw me this whole movie. I really have no idea what this YouTube edit's going to be like, because there's long sections where I'm not saying much. There's long sections where I'm not reacting much. It's hard because it just sucks me in and I just want to watch it. This has to be my favorite of the Indiana Jones movies. Don't get me wrong, I love the other two from the original trilogy as well. I also like the two new ones. There's different feel to them for sure. And again, we'll talk about those when we get to them. But this was definitely a great end to this series, to this original trilogy. I mean, it's pure comfort food for me. It just, like I said during the movie, I feel like the comedic dynamic between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery just worked really well. They played off of each other really well. They had great energy, this just as a comedic duo, but also this father-son energy. You could sense the depth of their relationship. Neither of them were perfect, but specifically sensing how Indy's father was basically kind of an absent father, especially after Indy's mother died. And even when she was sick, he's just so lost in his studies, so thrown into his studies, that he didn't even pay attention to that his wife was ill. I mean, he said she kept it from him, but you would think if he had been more attentive, he probably would have noticed something was going on. That's not a great comment on his character and how much he paid attention to his family, and only extends further to his relationship with his son. You could tell he ran in, said something was important. It could have been a real emergency. And he told him to count to 20, and then he told him to do it in Greek. Like this whole thing where everything he does is centered around education and refinement of your mind and all of that. But you started to see that break down a bit during this, and that was good for them, I'm sure. But it was also very interesting to watch, and it tugged at your heartstrings for these two people to finally be drawing closer together. And nothing does that better than seeing this person who you do actually love, even though you've apparently forgotten it at certain points, to see them in peril, to remind you how much they mean to you. And they both experienced that multiple times with each other. Indy doing most of the saving of his father, but particularly when they thought Indy went over in the tank, and the reaction of his father, reaction of Sean Connery's character, Henry Jones Sr., thinking he had lost his son without saying the things he wanted to say to him. But it was at least a step forward, and especially in the end here. I mean, Indy being put in the position of he has to go find the Grail or his father's going to die, showing how much he loves and cares for his father. There was no choice at that point. Indy throughout talking to his father about his childhood and how they haven't talked in a long time and how they weren't connected. And clearly, again, as I said in the reaction, a grown man who's accomplished a lot, but also still kind of a young boy still looking for approval from his father. But just specifically that moment with the Grail and the trade-off with Elsa can't let go of her greed for the Grail and then dying, and then immediately Indy's in the same position because the ground goes out from under him and his father's holding him, and he's about to do the exact same thing, and it's only his father calling on that genuine connection with his son, using the name his son has chosen with respect for his son, with love in his voice, to appeal to him to snap him out of this, and also at the same time to be telling his son to let go of the very thing that this father has spent his whole life searching for, the thing that he presumably was ignoring his family in the study and pursuit of. Just this blinding, all-encompassing focus on just this, or primarily this, for presumably his whole adult life, or most of his adult life. And he, in that moment, is saying, my son is more important than this thing. Let it go. Let it fall into the chasm. You are more important. I need you more than I need this. And I need you to understand that this thing, as much as I've chased it, is not worth it. It's not worth you dying. And to say all of that in a few very powerful looks and moments in that short period of time, that is always been a very potent scene, I think. And that really is, I think, what good writing and good filmmaking and good acting can come down to, is small moments like that that can contain so much just in being executed well. You don't have to sit there and say all of that stuff. You can see it, you can feel it, all in that moment. So that moment will probably always destroy me. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for watching this with me. I hope you will come back and watch the other two with me. I know that a lot of people don't like those as much, but that's kind of part of the reason I want to do it. I want us to watch it together again. I want us to discuss it. I want to hear, if you don't like those, why? Like, what's the, like, let's compare. What is the difference? Like, what is missing? What has changed? What is wrong with them that makes it so they're worse for you than this original trilogy? I would be very interested to hear. I have my own thoughts and feelings about them. I would be interested to hear what yours are when we get to those. But before we get out of here from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would go over and take a look at the Patreon. Again, the full-length reaction to this movie is available over on the Patreon right now, as is all kinds of other full-length movie reactions, exclusive full-length television show reactions, all kinds of stuff. Really appreciate it if you go over there and have a look. And if you become a patron, I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you to those of you who already have become patrons. And also, if you'd be so kind, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down here. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. Again, thank you for being here today and watching this with me. I really, genuinely appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.